While COVID-19 has not really destroyed infrastructure in the physical sense, but it has disrupted the method of imparting education. And that disruption is subject to when the COVID-19 numbers will really come down, whether people are comfortable or not.
In the 21st century, when we thought this is the age of digitalization, we suddenly find out we are not that digital after all. And even the so-called digital natives suddenly don't feel that digital anymore and are craving for some personal contact. So I think we basically learned some very strong truths about life and about education as well.
It's all about how to get the kids comfortable in imparting education.
So we started to introduce a shift system where we tried to bring back every student in Northern Westphalia back to schools, at least for 2 or 3 days. So we had a system where grades came to school on one day, then the next day the other grades came, and so on, like a shift system. That was really helpful.
Two questions to discuss. One is learning and digital divide, and then reopening of schools. In Pakistan, schools were also closed mid-March, and it affected more than 40 million students between Kachi kindergarten and higher secondary, and then 6 or so or more million students at higher education levels. If you talk about digital divide, most households and most children are on the side of the divide where they don't have access to these means.
The 5% or 10% of the children hardly who are able to go online, because we know that it's just the children who are attending elite schools are able to access that online learning. They have the opportunity and the facilities available to them, but then children who are attending low private schools, the children who were in community schools, we know there are hundreds and hundreds of schools run by non-profit organizations. All of these children are out of education at the moment, and bringing them back into education is going to be a huge, huge challenge, not just for the government, but for the organizations engaged as well within the education side. And in all of this, we know that girls are going to be the worst affected.
The federal ministry started with teleschool. So a dedicated school channel. Punjab started with cable television together with an online platform. In Sindh, they're working with Microsoft on learning classrooms. There is a learning app that you can download. So there's actually a lot of innovation.
Public sector has really jumped up, whether it is the PTV dedicated channel for teleschool or the Taaleem Ghar, or what Sindh is doing through the app, as Ellen Onshu mentioned, and many organizations, including ours, who are trying to come up with innovations. We need to look at these hybrid approaches where the public and the private have come together in great partnerships, and I think much more needs to be done.
COVID-19 is a compounding factor. It has come to aggravate the existing challenges that we have been postponing, dealing with for a long time, be that of investment, of infrastructure, of the educational methodology, provision of equal education to everybody. And now COVID-19 on top of it has come as a grave aggravation and a challenge. Reimagining education will be absolutely fantastic.